Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm joined today by the beautiful Diana. Thanks for being here.
Thank you to having me on. So, good morning to Australia.
Mm.
You have really nice weather. I'm very jealous, I admit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not too bad, but Europe has some pretty special things as well that we don't get here. So,
yes.
let's call it even.
And how can we receive the energies from all over the world at the same time?
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
cool. Oh, what's
So,
going on? So,
yeah, well, we're talking a little bit about something that is coming up called Mutation of the Species, and it seems to be the time for it right now.
absolutely. And already when you spoke last time about in the X-Men class about chameleons, you are already able to mutate because they can adapt to the environment. So what is this about the mutation? What this capacity was required right now and what you said it's the time about now?
Yeah, well, I mean, basically, the way that evolution has occurred is that, there are changes, on the Earth for, millions and millions of years. And basically, the species that have survived have and thrived have evolved in some way and mutated, changed in some way to suit the new environment. And we, right now, are going through probably, I would say, one of the biggest changes in our you know decade in terms of what's being created on planet Earth right now.
Mm. So cool. And so we will. Oh, sorry, that's already been fried from the call. So I'm going to dive in. It's a three-part call because you are saying one call is not enough.
Yes.
So,
And yeah, and it's a little bit of a bigger topic that needs a little bit more exploration. And one of the things as well is that one of the things that I facilitate is the X-Men classes, and the X-Men classes is actually about being the mutation of the species. So
mm,
this is also really unlocking your X-Men capacities to mutate into something that is going to create something different for your future and for the future that everyone else has available as well.
yes, and what I noticed, I told you already that the last X-Men class for me, my reality was my world is not the same. That
Sorry, not sorry.
already as a child, all the capacities we are diving in the chameleon to have the ability to deal with all peoples and to adapt myself in the world in the universe of the others and to fit in the same time to go in another universe and to fit in with total ease. And I never uh, understood why the other people don't fit from one universe. When you are deal with this kind of people, you don't deal with the other one. For example, you're in school, you have always the two groups,
Right.
the cool one or the smart one and the
Yeah.
beautiful. Also, you know what I mean, maybe.
Yes.
So, and I had the ability to go everywhere, and I don't understand why everyone is looking. Why are you dealing with this one and not with you're coming to us?
Yeah. And I would say that's something that most people that are this mutation of the species don't know it because they're looking for, what's different about everyone else who's outside of them, but they very rarely acknowledge the difference that they are and what capacities they have to create with that in the world. And once you do start to acknowledge that, it's like you're embracing and creating a world of possibilities that wasn't available before.
And for me, it was huge to recognize and acknowledge that. And I said, oh wow, that was going on, and I made myself so wrong as a kid, as a teenager, as a young woman, so often.
Yeah, well, I don't know any other X-Men who make themselves wrong at all. I've never heard of that before.
Yes, and that is awesome. Not only to see how the mutation or to where the evolution is going on. So already to acknowledge where are we already the mutation, and we didn't recognize by now, and that is what's the great gift in this course.
Yeah, and what I'd really like to create with these calls as well is this place where it's like you trust your body and you trust yourself to like actually be the mutation that is required to like evolve to something that, you know, cannot be controlled, cannot be defined, because it's like now more than ever is, you know, we require this, we need this. And
Sorry, you know why I'm laughing? You
why?
forgot to translate.
Yeah, I noticed that, but I thought let's just roll with it. I like it.
Okay, I will do a voiceover translation. Maybe it will be okay.
It sounds good. Yes. But yeah, like if you, the other thing you look at is like X-Men are also the leaders of a different reality and a different future, and so it's like this is also the place where we can't wait for anyone else, you know, to choose this. It's like this is something that's available to us, and we need to be the ones that open the door and go through it, and then others will have that choice available to them as well.
Yes, and to go through the door, even if one will follow.
Yeah.
You are alone,
Yes.
but you won't be alone.
Yeah.
So great. Yes, it will be a lot of fun. Yeah, I like your course. Always really ease and fun to dive to these topics who might be a little bit weird for the people somehow, but I think
Yeah,
it's
look,
always
I mean, you know,
right.
I think most people, you know, like yourself probably, you know, as well, were like, you know, a little bit weird, not sure what it is, but then, you know, you find out a little bit of what you actually always knew that you'd never acknowledged, and you're like, oh, actually, this is kind of like my reality, and it's always been my reality. I just never really acknowledged it. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's really
What
cool.
what's the worst that could happen if you know, gave yourself the chance to, you know, look at you from a different perspective and see something you've never been willing to see before?
Absolutely. And it could be great. It could be fun and create
Yeah.
too much ease in your
Yeah.
world. So please don't choose that.
Well, I know most of the classes we do, you know, everyone starts off thinking that they're so fucked up, and by the end of it, they're usually laughing at themselves. So, you know, if nothing else, that's a good outcome.
Nothing else. So, it's funny because uh, I think I told it already. I heard the first time about the X-Men stuff. Oh, X-Men. People with a lot of capacities. I have no capacities. I have no abilities.
Yeah.
And
If
yes,
that's great, because if that's you going, yeah, I don't really have any capacities. I'm not an X-Men. I'm not a mutant. I don't know how to, like, you know, evolve into something different. It's like there's you probably actually have way more available than you know. So
it's so beautiful. I thought for me was a great gift. Your thoughts already. The last one I translated it. I post-translated the multiple realities already. This one changed again something in my world. So I don't know. I don't want to fix it or to figure out what were going on after 3 calls of Newton species.
well, just, you know, you have to just come along and find out. It's
Yes,
always different. So yeah, but for me,
absolutely.
this class has just got this energy of, you know, now is the time, and it's like I get it's something that if you're willing to let it in can really contribute to the creation of a different future. So I'm excited.
Absolutely, me too.
Yeah.
For the 3 calls, and I'm so excited that I forgot completely to translate. So normally, I have to remember as a facilitator, remind me to translate because I'm so in the dialogue and I forgot it. But okay, it's
Yeah.
so good. I will do a voice-over translation about this little video to share to the German peeps because
Yeah, and we should probably just let people know as well that tomorrow the How to Become Money workbook with Connor and myself begins. So if that sounds like fun to you, come and play. We'd love to have you. And yeah, thank you so much, Diana.
The reality with money, and then the reality with the whole world.
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing. Yes.
I'll see you soon, and thanks everyone to watching. And actually, I don't know, I've just mentioned this as well. I have a group that's called the Exponentialize group, and I actually forgot to do my weekly live in there last night. So I'm about to go and do one in there now. So if you guys are watching, jump over there and yeah, join me in there. It's called Exponentialize with Wynne-Jones. So I'll see you there.
See you soon.
Thank you. Ciao.